Books that I'd realistically like to finish by the end of May. Okay, so the first book I feel like you can all guess is going to be Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. I've spoken about this a few times in my last videos, but I am just way behind. If I don't read this book by the end of May, I give you permission to block me, I give you permission to send me hate mail, comment on my videos telling me how rubbish I am, because it's getting beyond a joke and I need you guys to hold me accountable for reading it. I feel like it's a good book to have in my May reading wrap up as well, because I haven't read fantasy in a little while, and when I've been trying to pick up some books I've noticed that it's not processing as it normally would and I'm having to keep rereading. So I feel like because I know the characters and I know the world already within Fourth Wing or the Empyrean series, it's going to be a good book for me to build back up into fantasy, because fantasy, as much as it's brilliant, it takes more brain power than some other books. I feel like if you're reading like romance, they're often really easy to follow, whereas with fantasy it uses a lot more brain power, you've got to think a lot more. So hopefully this one will help me get back into my fantasy era. I'm so excited and I'm so ready for it. The next book within my May hopefuls is going to be Consider Me by Becca Mack. As I've mentioned before, sports romances are one of my favourite ever genres. I think that the elements to them are so much fun. When you have the found family and the banter and just the connections between all of the characters, I feel like sports romance give you a sense of belonging a lot more than what some other books do. I don't know if it's just because they're in university usually, or college, and they're building up all this friendships and so many new connections and finding themselves really. So I absolutely love it. In terms of sports romances, I feel like I've read Off Campus and Briar U, I've read Boys of Tommen, I've read the Mile High series, so I feel like I'm running out of like available series that are well known. I don't know if there's some that I'm missing. Somebody recommended the DC series to me the other day and I've not actually heard of that one, so that might be one that I look to pick up. If you've read it, let me know if it's any good, because I'm not ready for my sports era to be over and I'm running out of books that I know of to read. So with Consider Me, I'm just so ready to be back in sports romance. I love it so much, and I feel like with summer coming, it's going to build up the vibes for me, because most sports romances are within like a summery vibe, unless they're ice hockey, and I don't actually know which sports it covers, so it might be a winter vibe, but who knows. I just love sports romance and I'm so ready for it to be back in my life. Just as a little notice, all of the books that I talk about in this video will be linked below and you can buy them straight from the links without having to scroll for ages to try and find them. The next book that I'm going to be reading in May is Think Again by Jacqueline Wilson. I think the concept of this book is absolutely amazing. So I read the Girls in Love series when I was younger, and it's based on Ellie, Magda and Nadine as teenagers, and this book here focuses on the same characters as adults written in an adult book, which I think is just amazing. Like, how incredible is that idea? We read the stories as children following children, and then now that we're adults we can read an adult book following those adults. Just crazy to me. And I'm 24 now, so I read these books when I was a child, and the fact that the books and the characters have grown with me, I just think is incredible. I don't know any authors that have done that before, and I'm so excited to read it. Jacqueline Wilson's books are incredible and they will break your heart, but I'm so ready for it. Also, a fun fact about this book, so when I bought it, I bought this signed edition and I was entered into a competition with Waterstones and I won. So I got a photo drawn of me by Nick Sharratt, who is the illustrator that does all of Jacqueline Wilson's books. Somebody has drawn me who drew Tracy Beaker. Like, that is absolutely crazy. You can see that either on my shorts or on my TikTok videos. It's like my most prized possession ever. I love it. It's framed on my wall and I will never ever get rid of it, because I'm so lucky and so grateful to have been given that, really. It's amazing. Also, one of my favourite books by her when I was younger was The Illustrated Mum. She has also brought out a book called Picture Imperfect, which follows the girl from The Illustrated Mum. Again, same vibe. So she's now an adult and it's an adult book. So it's just incredible. I really recommend it. I haven't read the version for adults yet, but when I read The Illustrated Mum as a reread recently, I was just blown away because I forgot how good her books are. And although they are made for a younger audience, they still touch on really sensitive subjects. So if you haven't read Jacqueline Wilson before, I highly recommend her because her books are incredible. She was my favourite when I was younger. The next book that I am going to read in May is Starside by Alex Astor. I actually picked this up yesterday. So I was walking around Tesco's with my boyfriend yesterday, and he looked at the book and went, "Molly, that looks like a you kind of book." And I looked at it and I went, "That is a me kind of book." So I am so excited to read it. Also, can I just point out, it is absolutely beautiful. Like, the cover of this book is incredible. I have done a shorts video reading through the blurb of it, but just because it looks so incredible. Like, this book looks amazing, and I really hope it lives up to the expectations I've got of it. I haven't seen any UK creators really talking about this. Now, I don't know if I've just missed it, but all of the videos which I have seen of it have been mainly American creators. So I don't know whether it's new to the UK, because I don't think I've seen it before, or I might have just been looking under a rock, because I have not seen it over BookTube or BookTok within the UK creators, so I'm so excited to learn more about it and get right into that book, to be honest. So the next book is going to be Never by Jessa Hastings. I'm really excited for this. So I've read her Magnolia Park series, and I believe this follows, it's like a Peter Pan kind of storytelling, and I've not known Jessa Hastings to do fantasy. The only book that I know of that I haven't read is The Conditions of Will, and I don't know if that's fantasy, so I might be completely wrong here. But I think her writing is very capsulating and also emotional. Like, you feel everything that the characters are feeling. So I'm so excited to see how she takes on fantasy, because I feel like she could do it really, really well. Also, again, like, the cover for this book is just beautiful. Like, some book covers are just incredible, and I know you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but how can you not when it looks that beautiful? The next book is going to be Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. So Abby Jimenez is a really, really popular author, and I know for a lot of people she's an auto-buy. They absolutely sing her praises, and I've not read a single one of her books. I know that a lot of people rate her books 5 stars, and I don't really have a reason as to why I haven't read her yet. But this is part of a book series. I think there's 3 in this series. I think it's Part of Your World, Truly Yours, and Just for the Summer, if I'm right in thinking that. So I can't wait to read those ones, because Abby Jimenez, like I said, well-known author, very, very, very highly rated, and I've not read any yet, so I'm really, really excited for that one. Also, I haven't read a romance book in a long time. I don't remember the last time I've sat down and read a romance book, so I am super excited just to read something easy reading. I feel like romances for me are always better in summer. Like, I don't know why. It's just the vibes, the cuteness, the, yeah, just summer books for me. Fantasy is always a winter book for me, and then summer's always like a romance vibe for me. Don't know where I get it from. I don't know if it's because I'm used to reading books on holiday, and obviously being on holiday, I don't take fantasy books because I want to truly process them properly, and I feel like if I'm sat by the pool or sat at the beach, that it's just not going in as well as it would if I'm just sat at home, curled up at home under my blanket with my tea and my biscuits. And yeah, I love winter. As much as I love summer, I'm really sad to see the back of winter, just because I love it so much. I love cozy, cute vibes. Now, the final book that I'm hoping to read within May is going to be Spark of the Everflame by Penn Cole. I, again, have seen so many people raving about this book. I don't know anything about it. I like to go in books blind, so I could not begin to tell you what the story's about. However, I've seen so many people really recommend it. Is it a YA book or a new adult book? Because for some reason, I think it is. And for fantasy, as I've mentioned, I haven't read very much fantasy recently, so I feel like it will be a good one to build that back up for me, because I feel like it's not going to be too complicated. I might be completely wrong and it might completely blow my brains, but from what I understand, it's going to be really, really quite easy to understand and not be too complicated to the point where it puts you off the book. So I'm super excited for that one. Now, that's all of the books that I'm hoping to read in May. All of the books that I've spoken about today will be linked in the description, so you can buy them below without having to scroll and search for them separately. If you have stayed until the end of the video, thank you so much. It means the world to me. I love speaking to you and hearing from you and your opinions on my opinions, and I'm just so grateful that you like to spend time here. But thank you for staying, and I hope to see you again very soon for another video. Bye!